For a long time before the Second Vatican Council, the people of God, the Church, the Kingdom of God, the Catholic Church, and the Roman Catholic Church were all assumed as being one and the same by Catholic theology. Therefore, it followed that since they were all identical, all human beings must be, in the least by desire, related to the Catholic Church, and all activities of the Catholic Church must be related to its own expansion and numerical growth in membership. It seemed like the goal of all history was everybody becoming Catholic. While it is true that the Second Vatican Council proposes that all men are called to be in the new people of God, it does not define people of God and the Catholic Church, or even the Church, as identical, one and the same. Yves Congar admitted this in his dispute over the matter with Karl Rahner. People of God is larger than the Church, and the Church is subordinate to people of God, just like the Church is less extensive than the Kingdom, and the Church is subordinate to the Kingdom.
If that's true, how do we relate to our non-Catholic Christian brothers and sisters? And how do we relate to our Jewish and Muslim and Hindu brothers and sisters and our atheist brothers and sisters? Not only in the Church do we find the people of God. Not only in the Catholic Church do we find Christians. So in the Catholic Church, we do not have all there is that is church. And in the Church, we do not have all there is that is the people of God. And this is the first word. This isn't the last word. Yes, Lennis?
How does that play then? How does that play with evangelization?
That's perfect. It radically changes it. On one hand, it begs us to go back and see what the gospel was for Jesus and Paul. And that's wonderful to do at Bible Alive. And there we will see that that was an Israelite business. Yes or no? For Jesus, the gospel was to proclaim imminent Israelite theocracy, where justice, no more, no less, honor statuses would be restored, an Israelite theocracy. For Paul, God, the God of Israel, has done this by raising Jesus from the dead, soon to return as cosmic Lord and Messiah to inaugurate theocracy to Israel. As time passes, God opens the door to non-Israelites. God is the founder of that which would eventually become Christianity. Not Paul, not Jesus. Whenever you hear Jesus is the founder of Christianity, it's wrong. Whenever you hear Paul was the founder of Christianity, wrong. God was the founder of Christianity by opening up non-Israelites in a comedy, allowing them to take part, and it keeps growing. It keeps growing. So kingdom of God, evangelization, therefore, for Christians, right, is to proclaim the life that is already everywhere and always. The life and the peace and the goodness that is in all things, in all human endeavors. And to say that that has a name, Jesus. It is not proselytism, the attempt to dislodge people from their current religious associations. Anything that is proselytism is not evangelization, and that distinction must be maintained. Is that helpful?
Absolutely.
Go for it, Mary.
Well, the thought is how it affects evangelization is that instead of placing ourselves as opponents to others, we instead place ourselves in service to them. And that would be...
Which goes right back to the servant church. That's exactly right. By the way, that wasn't only motivated by Catholics, that was motivated by Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was a Lutheran martyr. The church, if it's to exist today, must exist as a religionless Christianity. She cannot be identified, the church, with the trappings of church. She has to be a servant church serving all humankind. Cardinal Suenens, Pope John the 23rd picked that up in Vatican II. That's influence from Luther. Yes, Vanessa.
But aside from our other denominations, but for me, this kind of made me think of like the church of how even in the Catholic Church, our church has to be servant to its people. Because I've been
Ad intra, yeah.
I've been in churches where the priest works 9 to 5, and I'm like, do you know so do I? So when can I meet with you? Or
Yeah.
you're thinking, well.
No, that's very big. That's very big for young adults, by the way. For millennials and Gen Xers, I'm not a young adult, but Gen Xers too, working very hard, coming to, absolutely no understanding, no feeling, no compassion. You got to come to me. Is that the spirit of a servant? Then you have other priests, like at University of Gainesville, that have mass at 11 o'clock at night right after coffee shop. They do this, and everybody's like, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy for you, but it's not crazy for the collegians.
Yeah, for me, when I was in college, we had mass at 10 p.m. or when we were all done studying.
Where are the young adults? Where are the young adults? Where are the young adults? Oh, they're lazy. They're so lazy, paying off $200,000, $300,000 of debt, and absolutely having no job opportunities awaiting them. On the other hand, are there some things that are true that millennials need to change? Yes, so do we, by the way, and so do the baby boomers. Everybody needs to change. Everybody needs to change. But let us first be a servant, ready to listen actively first to the needs of the people. If you have a gap, where are the young adults, right? You need to ask, what am I not doing to serve them? And then to bring them to manipulate, by the way, not the way you meant, of course, you meant this in service, Lenore, but the way most of us, what's the way I can manipulate them into the web and tie them up? What way? I'll be open to the young adults, and as soon as the young adults come, we need you all to lift all those things. We need you to go do this, clean that gutter thing out. We need you to go help us on the roof because we can't afford roof repairs. Believe me, that's how it is. That's how they're addressed continuously. And then, isn't it great? Those young adults are working hard now. Good. Instead of being lazy and entitled. That's good for them. This is something again and again and again, and if you don't have eyes to see it, you won't see it. It's just as simple as that. Do you think that's going to open the doors or close the doors on people? Are you serving them when you go, why is that baby crying? All I want to do is pay attention to the Mass, and that couple has to bring their baby. They can't control their kids. All the while, pro-life, 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 pro-life. But
$1 million to get a crying room.
That's it. Get the crying room, shove those kids in there, put the sound down, possibly leak in some chloroform into the room so everybody's just unconscious, not to lethal levels. That's even better. And then we'll all sing together. Will you let me be your servant? Let me be as Christ to you. Christ would turn the chloroform on. Shut those brats up, truly true. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway. In the early church, early Jesus groups, you got moms with the babies there, and they're crying Latin. Nobody's listening to that because everybody's blabbing into collectivism. It was never about an intellectual thing. But now it's become that because we're Americans, so Americans have to have, I gotta hear that homily. Oh my God, it's a comedy. This is bad comedy. Okay, here we go.